Forecast today, mostly sunny. Not at full. Highs in the upper 30s. Southeast winds 10 to 20 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 20s. South winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. Saturday, sunny, warmer. Highs around 50. West winds 5 to 15 miles an hour.
This is the first set of the day and the first set of our trip, and it starts out pretty good. The first couple of days that we were out hunting, it was really overcast, so it was extremely hard to see these coyotes coming. And we had seen a coyote down in the draw, and when it got up on the field, as you'll see, way on the end of the field, there's one single coyote. Well, we didn't realize it at the time, but there was a coyote far to our left, and that's the one that kind of sneaks in and gets right up on us here. Well, Stan makes a really good solid hit on this coyote, but it looked like it was a little bit high, and he run off into that draw down there, and pretty sure he probably expired fairly quick. Well, it's another overcast morning and another day that is going to be really difficult to see these coyotes sneaking into the call. We're sitting over the top of an area where there's a dead bull down in one of the draws about 500 yards away. It's pretty well eaten up. It had died a week ago, but the rancher said he had seen quite a few coyotes hanging around in this area. So we thought we'd sit here and give it a shot and see what we could do.
Steven and I are out hunting this morning. Got a beautiful morning. We're listening to the geese and the grouse and everything talk this morning. But we've been calling for about, I suppose, 15 minutes, and we'd heard some coyotes over on the hill over there. But after about 20 minutes, I usually give a quick scan with my binoculars, and I happened to see a coyote laying in the grass right out here in front of us at about 281 yards. So he was really hard to see. It was the weirdest thing. He wasn't paying any attention to us. And I kind of motioned to Stephen that there was one down there, and Stephen changed up the call a little bit, and for some reason he got all excited and decided to come up the hill. And anyway, to make a long story short, he came up here and got about 100 yards, and he decided he didn't like something, and he started kind of running the other way, and I made a good running shot on him, and we killed him down there. So first set, and we got a coyote on the ground.
Unfortunately, that coyote, I couldn't see him. I knew roughly where he was at, but I couldn't see him, and they are so hard to see in this grass and this sagebrush. And so I was kind of watching, and I didn't want to move because I knew he was close. And anyway, when he turned to run away, then I finally saw him, and I didn't get on him quick enough. Stan made a good running shot on him and put him down. So we'll walk down here in a minute and see if we can find him. He kind of got up and went over the hill.
We just came down the hill here. I don't know, I rolled this coyote, and he was actually rolling all over on the ground, and he ran down the hill here, but I haven't been able to find him, but I'm sure he's run down in the coulee here somewhere and just not feeling very well. So we looked around all over here for him, and I don't see him, so I'm sure he's going to be expired here pretty quickly because he rolled and was rolled over pretty good. Called this coyote in, and he kind of got the spook at about 100 yards and started running away from us, and I decided that was the best shot we're going to get. I rolled him and nicked him again going down the hill, and we took a half hour or so and came down here and found him. I think it's a female. Yeah, it looks like a female, and so yeah.
Their hides are amazingly good for as late in the season as it is.
Yeah, they look pretty good, really.
But we're out here trying to help the rancher. They're calving in this pasture. Another one down. I always like to get magpies and crows involved in my set, so a lot of times I'll turn a little bit on to get them attracted and they show up. So we had a couple of them sitting right above our heads in this tree, yakking away. And I was doing some other sounds, and I saw a coyote zip across this draw out in front of us, actually this flat. And so we knew he was out there, we just couldn't see him. So you'll see him as he's coming down. It's going to be kind of right in the middle of the screen. You'll see how hard these things are to see coming in. And I was having trouble finding him at this point. And anyway, he's coming right down just about the center of the screen.
Stephen and I have been out today hunting coyotes, and we're just having one of those days where we're just killing coyotes. This is number 7, I believe, and we had killed one down the road here a little further, and then we heard a couple howl up here, and we no sooner got sat down up here on the hill, and I saw one over here about 230 yards, and I shot that one. And we had just gotten sat down. It was just one of those fluke things. I saw the coyote when we sat down.
We hadn't even done a howl yet or anything.
Hadn't even called yet. So then we decided, well, let's give it 10 more minutes. We'll sit here and see if something else comes up. And it was just about 10 more minutes, and this big male come running down the hill right back past the other one actually, and we were able to shoot her. So
the first one spun around about 3 times and took off. I don't know if I've got that one on film. I tried to, it happened so fast. I tried to get it focused in, but anyway, we went up and looked, and I don't know, it must have run off, but we got a double on this one. We're going to count that one a kill because we know it went over the hill somewhere and died. We just couldn't find it. So anyway, we're going to keep on going. This is going to make the rancher happy. This is 7 coyotes out of his calving pasture. So that gives you a little idea how thick these things are right now. And these, I mean, compared to all the coyotes we've heard today, I mean, this is a fraction. So they need to be thinned out. So we're going to get after it. Once again, this is a set where these coyotes are extremely difficult to see. You'll look at the very center top of the screen, you can see them starting to work their way down through the sagebrush and cactus. And because I was having a difficult time seeing them, I just could not find them in my screen on my camera. So it's kind of a long shot going all the way through here, but you'll see them working their way on down to the call. I still don't physically see these coyotes at this point. I just know they're out by that bush somewhere. Then they start working their way across, and I still cannot find them. And then they'll get up on this road, you barely see them there, and then things kind of go to poop here. That male is pissed now and is throwing out a challenge howl to us, which we return with fire. And things really get chaotic here. I go to my calling mode instead of filming to try to stop that other coyote, because we're more into killing the coyotes, so the filming kind of suffered a little bit here. I'm glassing for that other coyote right now.
Well, I killed them. We just felt that one standing right next to the one you just shot. Got him.
Well, this is an interesting morning. I sat down and I opened up with rabbit distress and didn't get any response. And I don't know, maybe 5 minutes into the set, we got some coyotes to howl. And I mean, they were really close, but we just could not pick them out. These coyotes are so hard to see in this sagebrush and this grass because they blend in so well. So, long story short, we messed with these coyotes about an hour. And finally we just decided we were about ready to leave, and Stan was glassing and finally saw one of them pop up on a ridge, and he was probably, I don't know what, 600 and some yards out.
oh, they're probably more than that, probably 1,000.
Oh, probably 1,000 yards out. And what they were doing apparently was coming up on that ridge, and they'd howl, and then they must have been going back over, because it's happened probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times in that amount of time, and we just could not peg them. So finally, when we saw them, they went back over the hill. So we got up and moved probably another 400 or 500 yards closer. And I did some other things and got them to come up on top of the hill again. And then I worked with them for probably another 15 minutes or so, and finally got a sound that they reacted to. They just sit up there and watch. And but anyway, they finally started working our way, and I tried to get video of it. I don't know how good the video was because they got down by a bush. I couldn't see them. I knew they were there. And then when they finally moved and came up on the road, I went to get a close-in shot of them, and everything went blurry because I had a pine tree in front of me. They kind of showed up in an area we weren't really expecting. But anyway, long story short, they got up here and they started howling at us, barking at us again, and Stan decided to whack the first one, and he shot it. And the other one took off. I went to a coyote and I started glassing around. We figured it ran off here somewhere. And I was glassing and looked up, and the male came back, or was the female?
It was the female.
Female came back and was sniffing the male, and I said, shoot, he's right next to the male. So
Standing
anyway,
right over him.
he ended up killing that female right next to the male, and got them both. So it's pretty rewarding after working on, I think we were probably an hour and 15 minutes at least working with these coyotes before we finally got these two. So this is number 3 for the morning. We should have had 4, but we were on another set watching a coyote about, I don't know, 600 yards out in front of us, and she was digging a den apparently. She was probably further out there than that. We messed with her for a long time. We just were kind of curious watching her, and like dummies we were sitting there watching that other coyote, and another one showed up about, I don't know, 50, 60 yards in front of us, and of course we never got it. But anyway, that's coyote hunting. We're having fun, and we're going to get going while the coyote hunting's good this morning. Go see if we can whack a few more. Day 2, we get lots of great sunshine, and we get some really close-up shots of killing coyotes.